All right, so today you guys are going to be focusing on your curation project research. So, this is the foundation or the skeleton of your entire project. You have to do this well and you have to do it thoroughly in order for the rest of your project to be strong and seamless. So, have somebody in your group open up this document and click the share button to include the rest of your group members. It's better to work smarter, not harder. What I would suggest doing is take a look at what's being asked of you in this document and split the work evenly. There should be at least 2 or 3 people in your group, and therefore the work is split pretty much perfectly. So, last class, you went through the entire Bill of Rights, and you and your group chose one Bill of Rights that is the most interesting to you, and potentially talked about issues that might arise from that. So, you're going to just simply write your chosen amendment down here. So, if you chose the First Amendment, then put First Amendment. And if you don't necessarily know what the issue your group is focusing on yet, that's okay, just leave it. And if you do, if you know that you really want to work on the idea of freedom of speech and that being a common issue in today's world, then put freedom of speech down. But again, if you don't know yet, don't worry about it. Section 1 deals with the amendment background. And the first thing that you need to consider is, why was this amendment written? We understand that the Bill of Rights was the first document that established the law in the United States of America. And all of it was in response to how they were treated by Britain. So I want you to take time to think, what section of the Declaration of Independence does the amendment specifically address? So copy and paste the quotes from the Declaration that you believe help caused them or spurred them on to create this amendment. And then you would put, why would this amendment protect rights that the king didn't protect? This is all part of historical background information. The second thing you'll do is you'll go to the website to do some background research. So take notes on what this represents. Write down any questions that you have. So if you're confused about something, or if you wonder if this amendment deals with a particular social issue that's going on today, write that question down and try answering it through online research. And then finally, after you've done some background research of the amendment, figure out what issue. If you're going to do the First Amendment, you can talk about hate speech, you can talk about the freedom of speech, you can talk about the freedom of religion and whether or not companies should be able to hire somebody based off of their religion, especially if it is a religious institution or a religious company. And then do some deep thinking. How is this issue controversial? And think of an example of what would make this controversial. The second section deals with articles. As you've chosen an issue that's represented in one of the amendments, you now need to research 2 articles that deal with 2 sides of the issue. So if you were to choose Amendment 10, which essentially says any law that the national government does not make, the states have the ability to make their own laws. So in some states, marijuana is illegal, and in other states, it isn't. In some states, abortion is illegal, or the time in which you can get an abortion is prescribed, and in other states, it's different. So if I wanted to choose an issue for the 10th Amendment, I could choose abortion. I would need to think of the first side of that issue. So that could be pro-life, and the second side of that issue is pro-choice. Now, I need to do some research. I need to look at an article that argues for this side, for side 1. And because you're going to be writing and using this in a fat sentence, you need to get the following bolded ideas: news source, author, text type, focus. And then you'll research an article that has pro-choice. Once you're done reading and filling out these necessary fat elements, you'll then want to choose a quote that you believe really either sums up the pro-life or pro-choice argument. You'll embed the quote in these boxes, and then you'll just do some brief analysis, bullet point analysis of what this quote is saying, what the side is saying, and why they believe what they believe. Then you and your group need to talk. Do you agree with this pro-life idea? Do you agree with this pro-choice idea? Why or why not? These are some of the recommended sites that you can use but the rest of it is your own research. You are not limited to these sites. And then finally, the media analysis is the third section that you need to do. So if you've chosen abortion and that is the issue that you want to represent, then look at media. Look at an ad that supports or doesn't support abortion. Look at a song maybe that talks about somebody's experience with abortion, and fill out the necessary fact elements like you did above. Talk about what that media's position is on abortion and write that down, and then give me evidence. How do you know that they either are pro-life or pro-choice? Is it the words that they say, the images they have in a music video? Is it an interview that the artist gave after the video was published? Again, it doesn't have to be a music video and it doesn't have to be a song. It can be a commercial, it can be a print ad, it can be a movie or a TV show that deals with this idea. But this entire document is what you are focusing on for your pre-work curation research, okay? Once you're done, please go back onto the schedule and click the next video, but ultimately make sure that this is as in-depth and organized as possible because it will set you up really, really well for the rest of the assignment.